Hi guys, welcome back to FTB Unleashed. It's just Dave again. Just come back on to do a bit more on the world that I've got. I have been smelting down, as per the previous video, the grout required for the Tinker's Workshop items. I've also put a bit of time into building a building that you can see if I have a quick shifty on the map, just to the north. So if I have a quick look down here, still in progress, obviously there's still scaffolding around it. I do use the scaffolding to make it easier to climb up onto the roof and amend things and climb back down, and I've actually spent quite a bit of time on this building. Well, judge for yourself, but I don't normally spend that long on buildings. Like I said before, I'm not the greatest builder. Obviously once the scaffolding comes off it'll look a bit different, but looks kind of like a church with a cross. But quite happy with it. And basically there's a giant pit in the bottom of it at the moment with the staircase that runs down. This is going to be used for, I'll just chuck a torch in there, for what we're going to make now. So like I said in the previous episodes, if we open this, get rid of that, that was just the slabs I was using. So have a look at the Tinker's Workshop, and we're going to be using the seared bricks to make the tank that was mentioned previously. If I just run back outside, there was a lion dodging about, a couple of them, male and a female. I've already made the parts that I'll need. I've also got a couple of seared bricks. They're not really used for anything on their own as far as I'm aware, so I am going to have to wait until I get a few more before I can obviously put them to use. So as you can see, I've made 46 seared bricks, and although in the previous episode, I did say it was 9 for the base and then obviously 3 on each side, you can actually build this, get out of it, you can actually build this, it's basically a multi-block item. So when you put the blocks down, once they're in the right configuration, they'll connect together and make one item, but it'll be a multi-block item. So like I said before, it'll be 9 in the center, so it's 3 by 3. Then you go 1 up and 1 out all the way around, so you don't need to do the underside and you don't need to do the corner pieces, kind of like when you're building a portal. It doesn't have to be completely surrounded. And again at the front. So there's one layer. So basically if I replace these 2 end blocks, or basically any of the blocks here, with the with the smeltery controller and the seared tank, basically the tank holds the lava that's used to smelt the bars down, and the controller is the thing that you use to judge how many ingots worth of bars is in. These 2, once placed, create the multi-block item. So what I'm wanting to do, I just thought of something. I think, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So what I want to do is build this higher, because each level of this multi-block item will allow you to smelt so many ingots. I'm not 100% on what it is per floor. It's, I don't know, something crazy. Maybe it's like 40 per thing, but it's a couple of blocks worth at least. So I'll put another row of these down, and then again at the back another row of them. And then what I want to do is I need to incorporate the drains, because the drains combine with the faucets and the casting basins. So basically the drain goes on the side of the forge that we're making at the minute, and the casting basin goes underneath, and the faucet actually connects to the drain. So when you press this, when the ore's being smelted and you've got the ingots, you right click on this item and it actually pours into the casting basin, so it'll pour out a block. So if you smelt an iron, it'll use 9 bars and pour you a block of iron, which you might think, what's the point? But obviously you can just break them apart again within your inventory. So it's neater to put them into a chest in a stack, and the amount of ore you get from this furnace because remember it does double all of the ore that goes in it. It'll allow you to store more. You know what I mean? So it, instead of giving you 9 bars per thing, it'll just give you 1 block. So you'll see obviously when it's up and running how much it produces and why it's a necessity. So what I'm going to do is have the smeltery controller and the tank on the front corners, and I'm also going to have this here, instead of a casting basin, I'm going to have a casting table, and I'll show you how to use that later on, with a drain above it. And then on the sides I want to have a drain, a normal windowed block. I've actually made some, I thought I did, I must have left them up in the chest. You can make a few different blocks for it. Is anybody out here? So I can hear somebody growling about somewhere. You can make a few different blocks for it. Oh, I don't know where I've put them. Oh, there they are, already in my inventory. Ha! Never mind. But so basically these seed windows just allow you to look in. It's the same kind of thing as a seed brick, except a seed brick only takes 4 of the seed bricks to make, and these take 3. So sorry, 6. They take 3 either side in a crafting table, and then the 3 middle ones are made out of glass. But at this point, obviously it's going to be below this level because I've dug so far down. I don't really need them at the moment, to be honest. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll give us an extra floor, and I'm 3 already on. So I don't actually think I've got enough to get it to the height I want it. So that's it there, but I want to 1, 2, 3 for the front, 2 and a glass for the side, 2 and a glass for the side, and then 3 for the back. So as you can see, I'm actually just short on the seed bricks. So I will quickly run back, see if I've got some more grout. I should have. I might already have some seed bricks, to be honest. I thought I would have had enough, but normally what I would do is build the base and build the build the first layer and start the furnace, so that would create it as a multi-block. Then if you knock a block out, I believe it'll disconnect the multi-block. So obviously if you're doing it that way, make sure you haven't got any ingots in the furnace still waiting to be poured out or cooked off or whatever. And then you can just add another layer, and then obviously when you replace the block you've knocked out, it'll reinitialize. Quarried stone. Oh great, I haven't got any. So sand, clay, and gravel. Great, got no gravel. Well, this is going well. I've got in my inventory. That's cobblestone. That would be a no. Sure, I had some somewhere. Let's have a look quickly down here. See, that's the problem at the moment, because I've got this. No, but there is 64 copper in there. Because I've got this small house, which is what I've initially started with. Then I've got the tree house, which I've built, and now I've got this workshop over in the distance. My stuff isn't as centralized as it would normally be, because obviously everything will be in one place. Whoop. In one place, allowing us to easily get a hold of the items that I need. So we'll just run back across here and gravel. That's the one. You know, I had some somewhere. Get rid of the egg. Don't need it. So again, it's 1 gravel, 1 sand, and 1 clay to make 2 grout per use. So I'll just run back. I think we're about 2 or 3 blocks short. Can't quite remember. So I'll just smelt a few bricks worth. Sorry about the wait. Just quickly grab that. I still haven't got a means of food, but obviously there's an ant trying to steal an egg. There's quite a few animals like neutral mobs around. Some of them not so neutral. Obviously when you attack them, the boars, things like that. But because there's bears as well, the bears have actually been going around and just killing random things. So killing pigs and cows and whatever else they want to kill. which means my chests have actually got quite a bit of different kind of meat. So I've got some rats where I've killed them, turtles where I've killed them, I've got eggs because there's chickens all over the place. So I've actually, I'll tell you what it is, while I'm talking, let's chuck this grout in there and some more coal. So I've actually got quite a bit of food, even though I don't actually have a farm, wheat farm, anything like that set up yet. So obviously, as I said before, the iron furnace smelts a lot quicker than a normal one. I think it's like twice as fast. So it shouldn't take too long. So I've got 2 there. There was 2 in the chest, so that's one brick already. I did make the hatchet, but I haven't really used it out of the the tool station. So it says the hatchet, basic chopping tool, effective on wood and leaves, but obviously, like I said before, I'm wanting to get the upgraded one because that will allow us to fell trees in one use rather than obviously having to climb up the tree as in vanilla Minecraft, especially with these large oaks. Obviously, I don't want to take too many of them with the house being in the trees, so it looks pretty cool with all these trees outside. So I'll go to the bottom end because if you look on the map, the forest's quite extensive, so I'll go to the bottom end. There's also something up to the north in the forest, which is a brown thing. Don't know what that is, so I'll have to go and explore that. Obviously, there's a ravine down to the left, and there's a few different bits and pieces that I've explored, but haven't found any dungeons or anything like that. Obviously, I'll if I do come across them in my travels, I'll put them up here for you to see. But the regular vanilla dungeons, obviously, there's the Thorum Craft dungeons, I believe, in this one. So that should give us enough. So 3 for the back, 3 for the side, 3 for the side, and 3 for the front. That should give us everything we need for now. I'll just leave the rest of the grout smelting. Almost killed myself by falling off. Open the door. The other thing is, because this is in a bit of a dip, I have to be careful in case there's a creeper spawned and it's just hanging around, but that's just Minecraft for you. Another ant stealing some more chicken. Wily ants. Oh. Somebody didn't like a sheep, took it out. Chance to have been a bear, that's what I mean. Just the amount of animals around here, because it's a shrubland, apparently they're quite decent for animals. Obviously we've got a bit of a mountain with a pink cherry tree on the top of it as well. So, yes, back in. We'll drop down, and we've got the seed brick already. Oh, nightmare. Fell in. Jump out. Get rid of them 2. Not going to get them back. So put 3 on the back. And then you'll also notice this over here. I found some ore in the wall while I was digging this out. And I dug through. And just over this direction, just underneath this complex, randomly, there's actually a cave system. I didn't actually explore it. I didn't really want anything to do with it because there was a load of mobs inside of it. There was golems and all kinds of stuff. So I literally just left it as it was. But, nightmare. Let's get out of that. Get rid of these so I don't bump my head again, fall back in. And this. It's actually not that bad now, so... Actually, what I might do, instead of obviously capping it here, because I do have that grout smelting, I might actually bring it up. So I'm going to need to do 1, 2, say 3 more levels to get it the height I want it. 1, 2, and then the level I want. So I've got 1. So I need 2 bricks for the level I want, plus 9 for this one, and then another 12 and 12, 24. 24 plus 9, oh, I might not actually have enough grout. Let's have a quick run back. Again, sorry about this, guys. You know what it's like, oh, you get something and then it's not quite right. And scorpion, look at that scorpion, and it's got loads of babies on its back. What happens is, when you kill those scorpions, the babies actually drop off, and it says pet scorpion, and I didn't... Bunny rabbits, don't feed them, because they'll just breed everywhere. So, when you kill them, they actually drop off, and it says pet scorpion, which I didn't realise at the time, and I just saw loads of scorpions scurrying about the floor. So obviously started attacking them, killed them all. But I don't think it would be nice to have a scorpion as a pet anyways, you know what I mean? If you're trudging through under the ground and you randomly see something scurrying along, the first thing you're going to think isn't, oh hi, it's going to be, oh my god, what the hell is that? Or similar words to that. So again, I'll just put some more. And then I think because some more, because of how this works in regards to the grout, you can never really have enough of it, because you can always add more on. Obviously you don't want a furnace that's 100 blocks tall, because that's just crazy. Just why would you need that? It would smelt so much stuff. But because I've already dug it out, I might as well use the rest of the grout that I've got. So obviously there's 30. We'll turn that into, how many I say we need? At least 20 odd. Sitting here for a while. Get another brick. Yeah. So, like I said, I've found a few cave systems, but nothing really major. As you can see, the hedges have grown even higher. What you can do as well with these hedges, I've never tried it, but I'm thinking you can probably just put a piece of dirt on the top to let it grow, and then maybe be able to place one after the fact, so you can replace the dirt with it, so you can have them quite high if you would want to do that. But the other thing is, instead of using wooden fences like I've used here, you can actually use the hedges. Obviously with the fences you've got the advantage of being able to see them, but if you just want to wall something off, instead of using dirt or stone or whatever, if you use these, it's a source of food as well. So it'll keep mobs out, because it's 3 tall. There's nothing that can climb over 3, obviously, apart from spiders and whatever's in more creatures that can randomly do it. But yeah, it's a source of food, so you can obviously get food whilst you're keeping whatever safe from mob spawning. So I've almost got enough, I think. Just put some more grout in there. And chuck the rest of it in this chest. Again, I haven't got a clue what the Bucket of Force does. It's got 3 for the side, 3 for the side, 3 for the front, and 3 for the back. And then I've got 8, so I need 1 more, and that should give us enough for what we need. Alright guys, so I've done a bit more work, and the smeltery's almost up and running. To build the parts originally, you obviously use the part builder along with the patterns, as I explained in the previous video. You take the pattern that you want and put the material in it, and then obviously that gives you the item that you need to create that item. Like I said before, if you put an ingot in, it won't actually give you the item, and that's what the smeltery is for. So if we just quickly run over, I just need to grab some of this, and this, just double check something. Basically, when you want to make something in the smeltery, you have to use, so here, aluminium brass made from 3 aluminium and 1 copper. So obviously that's why I've just got the aluminium out, and I already had some copper in my inventory. So if we run over to, I've also made a second iron furnace because I needed quite a bit more grout doing, and I was cooking some other stuff, some stone, things like that. Yeah, it costs 5 iron to make, but in the long run it'll be worth it. The amount of iron I'm going to be able to cook once this thing's up and running. I've got 3.5 stacks worth of iron, so that'll be turned into 7 stacks when this thing's run up, because obviously it gives you 2 for 1. So for 1 all you put in, it gives you 2 in return. So like I said, stupid cat, get out. Like I said, I've built up the rest of the smeltery, and I've put window on the side so you can kind of see in it. I've dug out the floor. You don't have to do this, you can have them on the same level as this, but I think it just looks better, to be honest. The drains that I've put in are these here. So like I explained earlier on, you put the drains in where you want the faucets to attach, and then you put these cauldrons underneath. But you also need one for this table. What am I looking for? Stupid bee. Get dead. Yes. Raccoons. Bloody all kinds here. I thought I had one of them. I've lost the faucet nozzle. There we are. So, to create the faucet is not that. It's 3 bricks, and I don't seem to have any. Could have swore I had a nozzle. Ugh. Oh, I've got chest inside now. Ha ha ha. Yes, knew I had one. Right, so you put the drain down as so. Obviously you can see the backs of them in large squares and the front are small squares. They have to be this way to work. The large square allows the liquid out and the small square lets it pour in or whatever it's pouring in. So basically you just take the faucet, select it on the bottom lock, right click, and that'll attach it to the block, so then it can actually pour out. I also need some couple of these. Put them down there. Chuck that back in. So, like I said before, normally you would get the pattern builder. Now that I've got this table in the floor, which is the boom, boom, boom. Not that. It is. What is it? It is this, the casting table. So that's just made with the seed brick, obviously what you get from the grout, and that'll give you the casting table, and this is used to cast items in metal rather than in the stone. And normally what you would do is put a pattern in. Obviously, like the other table uses patterns, this doesn't actually work with the patterns. What you have to do is use the other table, and obviously this is to make the pickaxe, so you need a pick head, tool binding, and then the rod itself. Basically, if you go to the part builder and make those out of, say, stone, so I've made these ones out of stone, these 3 parts. To make the actual item, you need to place the item part in this. So obviously you can see there's the pickaxe head going in, and obviously then the tool binding going in, and then you pour the metal on top of that, so it takes the shape around this item, and then basically creates a plan like this, except instead of being on paper, it'll be like a sheet of metal. So if I get the smeltery controller, plonk that down, and then the seed tank, we'll plonk that down the other side. As you can see, once this is done, obviously it doesn't have to be this tall like I explained before. It's a 3x3 base and then walls around the outside, but it has to contain both a smeltery controller and the tank to be able to work. It doesn't need all of these. You can only have one if you wanted. You don't have to have these tables. The rest of it's basically completely optional. You don't have to have the glass, but it has to be 3x3 and then at least one layer around it. If I click on the smeltery controller, this is how much ore it can smelt at the same time. So if I put 2 copper in, and then it was 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that there should give us a bit of the, what was it called? Brass alloy. This is it, aluminium brass. So basically make it from copper and tin, but I don't have any tin yet, ridiculously enough. So I'm making aluminium brass made from 3 aluminium and 1 copper. Basically, if you put the 2 different kinds in, it'll smelt them both into that new metal, that alloy metal. So to run this machine, you do need lava. So I've went and got a bucket of lava. If you right click, you can see the tank fills up. Stupid cat, get out of it. So the tank fills up, and then as the ores smelt down, obviously it'll use the fuel, but the fuel doesn't go down that fast. So obviously a bucket of lava thinks I don't even know what it is. Is it 1,000 MBs? I'm not even sure. So obviously the aluminium cooks quicker than the copper because it's got a lower melting point, whatever. So that'll all smelt in, and then you've got molten aluminium. When the copper mixes with it, that should then make a brass alloy, which we can then use to craft the shapes that we need to obviously be able to make the different items that we want. So like I said, the bar fills up, the ore smelts, and there you go. So molten aluminium brass. Then if you can't really see, but basically this tank at the bottom, I can't even get in the top either, the tank at the bottom will have this liquid in, which you could see obviously if I could see far enough in. So now you just drop the pickaxe head in and right click on this. Obviously, as you can see, it'll pour out, and then you right click it, and like I said, instead of making a paper one, it actually makes a metal one. So again, pick that up and put that in, pick that up, put that out, and same with the rod. Obviously, you won't need to do this more than once per paper thing, because once you've got the metal casting, you can see it says material cost. So again, it's just like the stone. Now if I want to make a iron pickaxe, you would just put some iron in the smeltery and it would smelt the iron down. Obviously I can't at the moment because I've still got aluminium brass in it and it won't mix with that. So I'll go and use the other 5 of these because I've got a lot more templates to use because I want to make hammers and other bits and pieces. I'll use the rest of this and then I'll get some iron smelted down and then basically make iron tools which have increased durability. It also depends on the... I'm not sure whether it's the binding or whether it's the rod. I think it might be the rod. Depends on the durability for that item. So obviously a stone item is going to have less durability. So if the head is made out of stone and the shaft of it's made out of stone, it's going to have less durability than one that's made out of iron and iron. Equally so, a one that's got an iron head and a stone shaft is going to have less durability than a full iron one. And the bindings, you can make the bindings out of paper, you can make them out of a vast majority of things, but if you make them out of paper, it actually lets you enchant the item in extra enchantment. So the binding, it's obviously different configuration depending on what item you're trying to make, but obviously the different items that you use to make it give it its, not abilities, but its durability and how fast it mines, things like that. There's a wraith up there just burning to death. So obviously there's the smelt up and running. Now all I'm going to do is see if I can go and get some more lava, obviously to keep the thing topped up, and I'm also going to use the rest of these to make the rest of the plates that I need, and then smelt a ton of iron so I can make some more tools, and I will upgrade the tool bench itself. So at the moment I've got the tool station, which allows us to build the pickaxe and the shovel, things like that. I'm going to upgrade it to the tool forge, but I need blocks of iron, and this thing is great for making blocks of iron. You basically just put your iron in, and then once it's cooked and it is molten like the stuff that's in at the moment, you basically turn one of the faucets on with these cauldrons underneath the crucibles, and it'll basically just make a block of iron in here. So once it's poured, you just right click it and you'll pick up an entire block, so you don't need to mess around going to crafting tables and then putting all the bars separate, things like that. One thing I do need though is to put an ingot down and then pour it, because once I pick that up, you can see you end up with 4. You cannot pour 4 because these literally only hold 9 at a time. You cannot pour anything less than that. So if I pour the rest of these out, there, so I now have an aluminium brass ingot. So anytime you've got anything less than 9 ingots in here, you can always pour it into an ingot mold, and then obviously just keep the ingots. Basically all this means is I can put them back in. Something's getting killed by something else. Put them in at a later time when I need the ingots, or whoops, that wasn't right. Just made a blank pattern. Don't even know what happens with that. I think it just got destroyed. That was good. Oh, there it is. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. Blank cast. Oh well. Win some, lose some. Any more left? Nope, that's it. That was the last one anyways. I wonder if I can actually smelt the cast back down. Oh, you can. Great. Well, that'll just go back into another ingot, and I'll just obviously chuck the ingot in, and then get that back out. God, wool. So many sheep and chickens dead. It's a travesty. So that's it for now, and I will put the next video up once I've got some, come on, Paul, some iron, and I've upgraded the tool bench. Again, thanks for watching, and see you soon.